Hello, I'm Stuart Tucker, and today is May 8th and Friday, and this is the conclusion of my series of meditations on forgiveness. Forgiveness is tough. I find it tough. But in spite of that, we've heard some incredible stories of forgiveness, miraculous, really, and there are so many more. The power that Christians have to forgive those who sin against them comes from the amazing grace, the amazing example of God's forgiving us by sending his only son to die for us on the cross. There is a fantasy novel written by C.S. Lewis. The title is The Great Divorce. And in this fantasy, the inhabitants of hell have a choice. They have an option. Every day there's a bus trip from hell to heaven. And they can get on this bus any day that they choose. They may even stay permanently if they wish. The catch is, though, that they have to give up even the smallest souvenirs of hell that they've been carrying around inside of them, all their self-centeredness and their self-deceptions. In Lewis's fantasy, each new arrival to heaven is sent a guide to help them on their journey. It's always somebody that they knew on earth. And it's very often someone that they have to forgive. In the one episode, the newcomer from hell had been a hard, brutal man in life. He was never a criminal, but he was a terrible bully to everyone around him. His guide had been a worker who had worked under him. And this guiding spirit, while he was on earth, committed a murder. His former boss was furious that he had been in hell all this time, which was, in Lewis's fantasy, a damp, dreary, boring place. And this ex-murderer was enjoying life in heaven. Personally, he said, I'd have thought you and I ought to be the other way round. I gone straight all my life. I don't say I was a religious man, and I don't say I had no faults. But I always done my best, and I never done wrong, and I don't see why I should be put below a bloody murderer like you. I only want my rights. I'm not asking for any bleeding charity. At those last words, his guide interrupted. Then do it. Right now. Ask for bleeding charity. Everything here is for the asking, and nothing can be bought. I haven't got my rights, or I wouldn't be here. You will not get your rights either. You'll get something far better. When the time comes for each of us to stand before God, it will not be a matter of saying, Look, Lord, I went to church every Sunday. I put a tenth of my paycheck in the offering. I mowed my Aunt Minnie's lawn every other week, and so on. No, when it comes down to it, we are all bleeding. We are all charity cases, the good and the bad, the respectable and not so respectable. We all stand in need of bleeding charity, the charity of Jesus bleeding for us on the cross. It's never a question of our rights, or what we've done, or what we think we've earned. This is both the scandal and the miracle of the gospel. By faith, the last can be first. The sinner can rise above the churchgoer. The laborer who works in the field for just a few hours gets the same wages as the one who worked all day. This is the scandal of the gospel. The miracle of the gospel is that even you and I can be saved by the bleeding charity of Jesus Christ. trusting not in our own righteousness, but in God's manifold and great mercies. That is the meditation for today, May 8th. Goodbye, and God bless you all.